Hello, this is part 2 of the tutorial in building the game Catch the Clown. You'll remember from part 1 that we have a static image, a room with a clown in the middle of it. What we would clearly like to have happen is the clown that is in the middle here, we would like to have move. So let's click on the object obj clown. There's the clown object associated with the clown sprite. The object is visible as you see. It's not marked solid, and in general, it's not a good idea to mark any object that moves as solid. It's the stationary solid objects in a game like a wall that should be marked as solid. And we have a set of events here. I'm going to click Add Event. And you can see that for any object in the game, there are many events that a game maker can tell you when those events occur. In this particular case, the event we're interested in is when the object is created. And the object is going to be created when the game starts because the clown object exists in the room. So when we start the game, the room is created, which in turn creates the clown object. And when the clown object is created, we'd like it to start moving. So associated with the create event of the clown object is a set of actions. And the action we're interested in here is the very first one in the top left. We have a library of possible actions, and there are many tabs here, by the way, which we'll be exploring as term goes on. But the one we're interested in here is on the Move tab. It's the top one. It says Move Fixed. And I'm going to click all of these because what will happen in that case is our clown object will start moving in one of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible directions with a speed of 4 pixels per frame. Remember, there are 30 frames per second, so this particular clown is going to start moving with a speed of 4. And by clicking all of those buttons, but not the center one, the direction of the clown could be in any one of those 8 possible directions. And so you'll see if I do that when I play the game now, what should happen is when the clown is created, as it is here, it starts moving in a direction. And of course, we haven't indicated what should happen when the clown hits the wall. So at this point, nothing happens. By the way, notice, I hope, if I play the same game for the second time, that the clown should start moving in a different direction, although at random it might start moving in the same direction. No, this time it moves down like that. Okay, while we're here, I might also show you that it's quite possible to have 2 clowns in the room. And in that case, they'll both start moving independently because when each of them is created, each will start moving in its own independent direction. Well, there they both happen to move in the same direction. Let's try this again. And this time, as you see, they're moving in different directions. So this is a very important feature of GameMaker. Although we have a clown object, we can have many instances of the clown in the game. In this case, there are 2 instances of the clown object, and as you can see, they behave independently of each other. Obviously, in a typical computer game, there's typically only one player object, but you can have armies of enemies, and each member of that army, each instance of an enemy object, can be an independent instance, which has a set of behaviors. They all behave in the same way, and yet they all operate independently of each other. So in this case, if I right-click on the clown object, as you can see down here, if I right-click the mouse button, it'll delete it. So I'll put that back. We've now got one clown object in our game, and the clown object is going to move at random. Okay, the next thing we need to make sure, let's bring up the properties for the clown object, is let's add another event. The question is, what happens when the clown object collides with the wall object? And now what we have to do is specify in the action list the list of actions that is to occur when the clown object collides with the wall. The simplest way to deal with this is to have the clown bounce off the wall, and that's this action here. In the Move tab, that one there that says Bounce, I'll select that, I'll drag it over here. In this particular case, we don't need to, we'll accept the defaults. We don't worry too much about how precise the collision is. I think that'll work, not precisely, will work just fine. And the wall object was solid, so we'll just leave it set against solid objects. And now what should happen with just that collision event with the associated action is when the clown hits the wall, it should simply bounce off the wall. And let's see if that happens. There it goes, and it bounces off the wall. Of course, if we had two clown instances, let's put that second clown back. If I had another clown over here, say, I'll left click and add another clown, they should both bounce off the wall independently. And as you can see, so they do. Okay, so when the clown object, or either clown object, bounces off a wall, let's create a sound to indicate that that happened. So let's right click on the sound folder. Let's create a sound object. Let's call it SND bounce. We can make up our own name there, but SND underbar bounce will do fine. Best not to use spaces in the names of objects, so I'll just call it SND underbar bounce. Let's load the sound, and let's load it from the asset folder that we have before. So I'll go to my temp, my example, my resources, and here's the bounce. It's a WAV file, a wave file. Let's just listen to it and see what it sounds like. Okay, well, that's just fine, I think. It's a normal sound. We don't need any 3D effects, etc. And so we'll just leave it like that. We will click on OK, and let's play the game once again and hear the sound when the clowns hit the wall. Oops, okay, slight mistake there. I forgot to program the sound. So let's go to the clown object. We'll add an event here. Excuse me. We already have the event. When the clown object, obj clown, collides with the wall, we need to play a sound. And so let's go find playing the sound here. So on the main one tab, down here, it says sound, play sound. The sound we're interested in is the bounce sound. And we definitely don't want it to loop because it'll drive us nuts, I think, if it does. So I'll set loop to false. That'll cause the sound to just play once. And let's play this game again. Okay. So you can see that when either clown hits the wall, when either instance of the clown object hits the wall, it's going to play that bounce sound. Rather loudly perhaps, but we'll leave it the way it is for right now. Now the idea is to catch the clown. So the next event that we want to add to the clown object, we're not interested in catching the wall, so make sure you've got the clown object selected. Let's add an event, and with the mouse, let's click on that. And you'll see that we could trigger on any number of events that are associated with the mouse. What I'm interested in is if the user clicks the left mouse button. So we'll just use left button here. And if the user clicks the left button, we want to do a few things. So first of all, that means the user's clicked on the mouse. So let's add something to the score. Let's go to the Score tab. Notice we've got many options here, many possible actions associated with the score. But let's go to the score and let's set the score to 10, but be sure to check the relative button. If you don't check the relative button, then every time the user clicks the clown with the left mouse button, the score will simply be set to 10. What we want to do is increase the score by 10 each time the user clicks, and so by clicking the relative button, it will add 10 to the score each time. Let's play the game now and see what happens. Okay, so we have two clowns. I'll click on that one. Notice the score went to 10. I'll click on that one. The score went to 60. Okay, so we have a slight problem here. Let me stop the game. We have a slight problem here, which is when we click the left button, although I set the score to 10, the score actually went up oftentimes by many more than 10. The problem is when I clicked on the left button, let's change this event with the mouse, you'll notice that I've got two controls here that are quite confusing. Left button and left pressed. The left button event occurs every game step in which the mouse is depressed. So if I hold the left button down for a whole second, that left button event is going to fire 30 times, which of course means that the score will increase by 300 points, assuming I hold the mouse over the, cursor over the clown object. What I'm interested in is having the event only fire once when the user actually clicks the left button. And so the event I want is left pressed. That's the event that occurs when once and only once when the user clicks on the left button. Let's play the game again and see what happens now. Okay, so each time we click now, if I manage to hit it, the score goes up by 1, as you can see. Okay, let's fix that little problem. Now the next thing that happens in the tutorial is after we've clicked on the clown, or in this case I have two clowns, but having clicked on the clown, in order to make the game a little harder, the clown jumps to a random position. So let's do that. When we click on the clown, I'm going to increase the score to 10. And let's jump. So I go to move, and I'm going to jump to a random position. So when I click on the clown, I want the clown, that's why we've got self marked. I want the clown to snap to a position of 0, 0. Okay. What should happen this time? Let's run this again. Is when we click on the clown, you'll notice that when I click on the clown, it jumps, each clown jumps on the playing field to a random position. And in addition to that, to make the game a little harder, we'd like to increase the speed of the clown. So we'll have it jump to a random position, and we'll increase the speed. So let's once again, let's choose this one, move free, and I'll set a direction of 0 because we don't mind. Well, actually, I'm going to set the direction to 0. I'm going to click the relative button, and the speed here I'm going to set to 0.5. So once again, because I've checked the relative box, the speed is going to add 0.5. We're going to add 0.5 to the number of pixels the clown moves every game step. So every time we click, the clown's going to go a little bit faster. Remember, if I don't check the relative box, then the clown will immediately slow down to a very slow speed of half a pixel per game step. That's not what we want. We want to increase it by half a pixel per game step. So let's OK that. Let's try this. And so if I click here, you can't really see it, but I think we'll find that this one is going a little bit faster. Okay, so that I'll end this second step in the demonstration of how to build Catch the Clown. Thank you.